I am Draken, and this is the DrakenGameWerks, and I'm recording this episode on the 1st of April, or beginning on the 1st of April, where the doggos seem to have grown in size. I'm guessing this is Coffee Stain Studios' idea of an April Fool's prank, is that the doggos have all grown to a ginormous size. They look absolutely cool, though. You can imagine riding those or something, jumping on their back and riding them around. That would be really, really cool. In fact, actually, knowing the player base here, they might start asking that, and it may actually become a thing, so better be careful about that. Anyway, we are back here. You remember last time we built that. We built the space elevator, which is going to require some items to be sent up it in order for us to be able to essentially get to the next tier, so we can actually unlock more equipment and more stuff to be built. So one of the things we're going to need to do, mind my factory, please. One of the things we're going to need to do is work out actually what's needed to make these smart plates. So I know they can only be made from here as smart plating, and there we are. They need these iron plates and they need rotors. So we need to really start thinking about the idea of setting up an automated rotor system. And then once we've got both the automated rotor and those running, we can then put an assembler in the line that will turn around and take both of them and convert them into smart plates to send up on the smart elevator? No, on the space elevator, which will then get us, hopefully, a bit more resources. But I was also been looking up there, and I've been thinking, maybe we want to go and get that power slug as well, because we haven't picked up any power slugs. I wonder if he'll give us a lift up there. Okay, this is proving to be a bit of a hunt, trying to look for a way up to this thing. So there's the space elevator. We're trying to sort of coordinate it here. I'm not really keen on this area here. Like, this is like perfect for something to jump out and attack you. So, oh, it's one of those. Have they shrunk? They've shrunk, haven't they? They have shrunken for April Fools, so they've exchanged the sizes of the doggos to these creatures here. Baby one? No. So it does make it easier to find the doggos now. Things have gone weird in Satisfactory. Things have gone very, very weird. Right, okay, we need to be working out how to get to that, which I think is through here. Oh, look at this. How's this for a view? Now, of course, we are carefully having to run along here and hopefully not falling off. If we fall off, we'll probably die. So it's you get quite a nice view of the factory below from up here. No. We've been turned into a bobblehead. Okay, so that didn't go to plan. Thankfully. Oh man, right, I'm gonna have to go get my items back. Thankfully we can get the items back from over here. What have you done? What have you done? Coffee Stain Studios, no. Right, so got our items back. Maybe we won't try going up there again. Not until we've got at least a jetpack, or maybe we're feeling a little bit brave and we'll go back up there. But yeah, I mean, it was only to get a power slug and put it in for research. These are filling up nicely, maybe a little too nice. If they start to fill up and we see a line starting to halt, I have some solutions that will save that, so that's okay. Right, we need, though, a rotor producer, so we need to build an assembler. And I'm just thinking, where are we going to build it? We're probably going to build it the other side over here. But we haven't got a whole lot of space, and actually we're going to need iron. So actually their side will be over here. So one of the things that I've noticed is that these lines over here have begun to shut down. Like this one here, it is full. It is full. Now I could expand it, but really want to use these iron productions now for something a bit more useful, like actually producing rotors. So we're going to do that instead. I'm going to need to make, let's have a look, an assembler. Use a rotor, reinforce iron plates, etc, 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 etc. Right, okay, let's go and do that. I really need to organize this around here. This is a disorganized mess. Now I've got a funny feeling. I'm going to bring this assembler out. I'm going to pop this one down here. So we're going to feed it in from this line over here. This is not the most organized way of doing things, just in front of the giant doggo there. But I want to build rotors. I'm 20 iron rods a minute and 25 screws a minute. No, 100 screws a minute to 20 iron rods a minute. So we're going to need to work the maths out on this one. So like we did last time on the last episode, we did the iron plates and we worked out with the iron rods and the screws exactly how, it's not the iron rods and screws, what exactly was needed for that. We're going to need to do the same for this one. However, because it's just screws and rods, I've got a funny feeling this is going to be a little bit easier to set up than we did with the reinforced plates. So bear with me a second while I go and work this one out. Okay, so here we go again. So we have now a new construction element. You can see we've got a few more assemblers and constructors and everything else down in this section, along with some furnaces as well. Or smelters, furnaces, smelters, never remember which one it is, smelters I believe, that are all set up in this region here that are all designed to be able to produce rotors for us, so we can actually start getting a bit of an output on the rotors. Now the way we've done this is we've actually tapped into the line that we were using before for the iron ingots. That line is actually completely backed up, so we might as well just divert some of that ore off over to here. We only need 60. If we were to ever repower this line up again, which we probably wouldn't, because this is probably more than excessive for what we need, but if we need be, we can always turn around and tap it off. This will produce 120, but let's just say that we've got a rate of about 60 iron ore coming down here. That's all the belts can handle. They'll come down to here, split off, and that'll become 30 in each direction. This one here, this smelter here, will produce 30. This smelter over here also produces 30. So they will then turn them into 30 iron ingots on both sides. Over this side, it will send it to these two smelters. So it will split it over here straight after here to these two smelters. These smelters are going to take 15 each. So you've got 30 coming out there, split into two, 15 for each of these. And that will then produce 15 iron rods on each one. Those 15 iron rods are going to come into these. Now this is a little bit like a stack overflow system, but it's kind of a bit of an odd one because we've got like the merger in the middle. So what happens is they come into this, 15 will come into both of these sides, and they'll split into 7.5 approximately per minute on each side. So 7.5 will go into here, which is not quite the full rate, it needs 10. And the same on the other side, and then the other 7.5 from both sides will merge in the middle. So that's 15 will merge in there, which is more than that one can handle. So what will happen is these will all power up, but eventually this one will back up and it'll have an excessive amount. So the excess, the final 5, will back up on these lines, and then that will mean that all 3 of these will then be moved up to a rate of about 10 per minute because it will have backed up. It takes a little bit longer when you're using Stack Overflow to get them up to their full capacity, running at full speed, but is a very handy way of organizing things. So this will then take those iron rods, turn them into 40 screws. So together that is 120 screws per minute. We have to use the Mark II belts at the second part of this. These are all merged together on this side. They have to use the Mark II belts to produce it around to here, which then produces, this needs 100 screws per minute. So that's more than it should back up. This entire line should back up. We're producing an excessive amount and it should back up a little bit. So not quite the most efficient. We've got about 20 more than we actually possibly need per minute coming out of there. So it will back up the system eventually, but still, for the beginning starting off, this should do sufficiently. The other side of this, where we saw the other smelter, this is much simpler. It's basically coming in from the smelter being split into 2. When it is split into 2, again, it is just 30 on either side. 15 on either side. That turns into 59 ingots, gets turned into 59 rods, and that's what we need. We'll produce 30 iron rods. Now, again, it only needs 20 iron rods to actually power up. So again, we've got a bit excessive. So this should also back up on this side as well. And we should find that this machine then should be quite happily trundling along, producing 4 rotors per minute. So that's the idea, and that should all power up. We need 3 biofuel things over there as well. It is getting to be a bit of a chore to make sure those are all topped up, so it'll be really handy as soon as we can get some form of power to get some automated power like coal or oil at some point. But in the meantime, let's get this started. So all we need to do now is just connect up the smelters, and then this whole production line should be beginning off right here. So we can see it's all starting to be produced in. We should start seeing the first iron ingots coming through over here, which is good news. Once these are coming in, they should start filling up these machines. We should also see iron ingots coming out of here as well. And yep, they're already going into over here to produce iron rods. That giant doggo is getting in the way. I can't wait until they invert it back now. It is funny, it is amusing, but yeah, we'll need to go back. There we are. We can already see the first iron rods are starting to be pumped over to here to come into the actual assembler. And we're just starting to see the first screws coming through as well. There we are. So we know the screws are working as well. And these are all going to pump into here. And as soon as we have enough of the iron rods and the screws coming into here, that's it. They're starting to flow right now. And actually it's producing quite a nice rate a minute, but we should be getting and producing our first rotor in a second. So we'll give it a second, and it should take 15 seconds to build a rotor. We should see this assembler whirling away, producing its rotor for us. There we are, that's cool. And if we come down this end, we should hopefully see the rotor appearing out of here, and that'll be our first rotor that has been produced automatically, which is really handy. And there we are, that's the rotor. So now we've got rotors being produced, and on the neighboring production line over here from this one, we are getting iron plates produced. We now need to make smart plating. So the smart plating needs to be going sent up here. So we do have an input bit there. So what we could do is put an assembler over here and just basically split half the lines off from both of these and bring it over to here and just start slowly filling up the space elevator for this project. So I think that's what we're going to do next. We'll just make sure that all of these lines are flowing correctly, but I believe they should be. I don't think we've got any broken ones. No, that's all going correctly as it should be. Should be flowing through quite nicely. He says, yeah, there we are. We can see one going in there. That's cool. Yeah, I believe this all should be set up quite nice and neat, and we'll just have to give it a bit of time for it to power up. Oh, why have we run out of ore? It's the ore run out completely. We've drained. Oh, have I turned this off? Helps if I turn it on, doesn't it? It's like, why is the line stopped? Why is the line stopped? That's why the line stopped. We turned it off by accident. Oops. Does help if you remember to leave the mining system on rather than turning it off. I think I turned it off because we didn't need its production anymore because that had all backed up. But okay. I mean, not that it makes much difference if it was on or off. It wasn't going to be draining power anyway. Okay, so this all seems to be ticking along quite nicely. Okay, so we need to go and build that other assembler now, and then we'll get that all powered up. Okay, so what we have done now... Okay, what we have done now is this. You can see them going up there now. We have built splitters into the production lines from these assemblers that's going to bring them over the top here and then drop them back down onto the side here. You can see them coming down there. So there's a rotor, and we should have another type of plate coming down in a second there. You know, the reinforced plates, they should be coming over. And this machine, yeah, if we get in the first one here, we're just about to get the first smart plating out. So the smart plating should come out. And if we give that a second, we should see the first one being produced. It says any minute now. How long does it take? I imagine it's like 30 seconds to complete. We're about 78% done. So this should be coming out, and we should see our first smart plate appear any minute now. There we are. There's the smart plates. So these are an assembly part to go up on the space elevator that's going to be sent up. We need 50 of these. And we need to produce quite a ton of these, actually. We need to produce, if we're producing 2 a minute, this will produce 2 a minute over there, then we are going to produce, basically it's going to take us 25 minutes to fill the space elevator up. So what to do for 25 minutes, huh? Of course, we could clear out some of the vegetation. That'd be a good idea. Maybe we could go, actually saying that, we could probably go for that power slug again. See if I can do it this time. Might be an idea to drop all my stuff off. Let's go and we've got a little bit of space, but I'm not going to climb up there with loads of stuff because there's every chance that I will fall again. Actually, we found our first power slug on the side here. That's handy. Wasn't the one we were going for, but we will take it. That is actually very handy because power slugs are a way of speeding up some of your production. So it's a really good sort of increasing your productivity. So very handy things to have right now. Let's see. No. I felt myself going there. Got to inch carefully. This is not easy. Just balancing on the edge. Can't just run over this so easily, straightforward. Careful. This is not something to be doing if you've got vertigo. Especially as we haven't got yet the special ones. Like things like jetpacks and the bouncy legs. Let's clear some of this off the top here, actually, because this is all in the way. I can hear the slug. Felt myself going then as well. There it is. There's the slug ahead. Can we get to it before without falling off? Yeah, look at that. Thank you. Right, let's try. See if we can get to the other side, shall we? Without dying. This time, anyway. Ooh, that fell. Yeah, that was close. That was close, but we're still on it. We can't actually see beyond here. This bushes are in the way. This is why I'm sort of collecting them. Can't see the way down. Aha! Now we can see the way down. Now here's something we got a couple of episodes ago, or we unlocked a couple of episodes ago, but we actually didn't put into go and purchase any. And actually, we need to put some space down somewhere for this. We have, over here would be fine. Yeah, there's a bit of space over here. We have what is something that is known as an awesome sink. I just need space just to put it down somewhere that's going to be not really get too much in the way. Maybe over here, right next to the space elevator for the time being. It's not going to be the permanent location for it. We also need the shop to go with it. That was encroaching. There we are. We'll pop it here. You should be able to use that shop. That's cool. And then that's the sink itself. Now, there is a production line that you probably saw over here, which has actually filled up. That line there. We actually got two lines that are filled up. We could start pumping stuff out from here into a couple of bins. So what I was thinking was that if we get the logistics line, just while we're waiting for that thing to come up here, and we're going to speed up this system up here. And all we need to do really is just pump that up into the more powerful version. And that one. So things should be moving quicker because this should be able to handle 120. There we are. So this should then be able to pump into these. Because these are now got on an excess, I'm going to put in, let's have a look. I'm thinking organization. We don't really need all of this anymore. In fact, we don't need it at all because we've still got it stored up on the other place as well. So we are going to produce, how many objects can the sink take at a time? Actually, that's a good question. It doesn't say. Right, okay, so we're going to need to bring these over the top. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 over the top there. It's probably a bit far for it to be going, to be honest. So have we got, yes, we've got the stackable conveyor poles. We'll just build these in the middle here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Encroaching another's clearance. Whose clearance are we encroaching? I'd love to know whose clearance we're encroaching. Must be this. Okay, fine. Replan that one. We could probably bring this around here, actually through the grounds. And this line is only a temporary line again. So many temporary lines coming through here. But we will bring this around over to here. We jump up to here. We can actually bring that over to there like so. And we should start getting some stuff munching out of there. I think we need to power this up. Yeah. Where can we connect it to? Or do we just create its own? We might just create its own power supply. Before it, we just need to find somewhere to build it. There we are, put it there. Have we got? We should have enough to power this up. There we are. What this is now going to start doing is producing coupons for us. So it's going to turn around, dismantle all the surplus stock and turn it into coupons. Those coupons can then be used over here. We can use it to get different new designs. So like floodlights, factory ladders, light control panels, street lights. So one of the things I want is the lights. We've got the walkways. We've got various different wall designs, attachments. They've added quite a bit to this actually, foundations since I last played, vehicles, a couple of statues, equipment, and we can also purchase a few extra parts if we need like a bit of a boost in something, but we can get it from here as well. So that's pretty cool. The Fitsit shop is a pretty awesome thing. So yeah, cool. But at the moment, the sink, we have to destroy some stuff to get the coupons, which is going down. We'll just leave it going for a minute and then we'll collect the coupons at a later point. Meanwhile, this should be nearing completion. Three more to go. Or 2 more after this one. We are nearly there. That's killed a little bit of time and enabled us to actually get closer to actually getting the space elevator up and running. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking out these lines for now, because we have now, there we go, got enough plating going through here. So there's enough coming through off here. This last one should be actually sufficient. I think we can just power this down now for the time being. It's not to say we will have it permanently down. Yeah, so when this last one comes in here, as it trundles around, we've turned off the assembler for the time being and got rid of the conveyor belt lines coming into here. And this should then load up our final one and we can actually send this up to orbit. There we are. So let's seal it. And now we should send it. And if we watch upwards, the tension's taken up on the cable, sends up a signal, and away it goes, up into orbit. So that's the smart plating being sent to orbit, ready for whatever it is that Fitsit use all these goods for. This is going to now return, I don't know when actually. Well, this is what we need next. It's going to need more smart plating. So maybe we should have actually kept those lines in place because it's going to need more of those. Versatile framework and also automated wiring. Yeah, maybe we should have actually kept those lifts. But that should be coming back in a minute, I hope. Better be coming back. But we should have unlocked the next tiers. It hasn't said anything. Or have we got to wait for it to return? Oh no, it has unlocked them. So now we have the all the tiers there. So we've got pipelines and access to coal generators, water, scanning for coal. That's good. So for that, we're going to need a few bits and pieces. Vehicular transport. which is going to be giving us the tractor, which is the very first one, the truck station. Also increase our inventory slots. Then we got foundries, which is like a slightly more advanced, builds alloys, advanced version of the smelter. And then we come across and we got steel ingots can be made, steel beams and steel items, including the versatile framework, which is going to be needed. And then we also need advanced steel production, improved melee combat, which is actually quite handy. We've got the hyper tubes, and we got the logistics Mark III. So there's some awesome stuff that can come out of this. Plus we've also unlocked the actual sink itself. And oh, it's returned. So it's come back down again, so that's good. So maybe what we should have done was actually keep this back in place. So let's, I'm gonna put these back up, the bits over the top here. I'm gonna keep this running because we're gonna need that to power up. But in the meantime then, we're going to turn around and call this a day on the stream here, on the video. This isn't a stream. I do stream, but I haven't streamed Satisfactory. But I do stream a lot of Minecraft on a Tuesday and a Thursday, so do definitely come and join us on Twitch for that. Come and find us. We also have our main channel as well, which is also a Minecraft channel, so you're more than welcome to come over and find that. You'll see all the links are down below for the DrakenGameWerks and also for the DrakenStreamWorks, where we also put our replays of the actual various things that we have of our streams and everything else like that. But this is a new series, as you guys know. We've been running this now for a couple of weeks here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it, and if you are, then we hope you leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you back here all again soon. You guys take care. Bye.